Hello, HCISD. I'm Dr. Alicia Noyola, your Superintendent of Schools. Joining me from the HCISD Performing Arts Center today are the top 10 students from Early College High School. Their placement on the top 10 represents their hard work throughout these past 4 years and their dedication to reaching the goals they've set for themselves. Some students were not able to join us today due to other commitments, but I'm excited to visit with the students joining me this afternoon. We take this time to chat with them about their experience in our schools and showcase their achievements while providing our future graduates with words of wisdom as they continue their pursuit of academic excellence. So to begin, I'd like to go around the room and ask the students to introduce themselves, name all HCISD campuses they've attended, and share their plans after high school graduation. So we're going to start to my right, and Alyssa, we'll start with you.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Davila. I attended Stewart Place Elementary, Vela Middle School, and Early College High School. And I plan on attending the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley to pursue a bachelor's degree in clinical laboratory sciences.
Congratulations to you.
My name is Nathaniel Malgosa. I have attended Lamar Elementary, Vela Middle School, Gano Freshman Academy, and Early College High School. After high school, I plan on attending UTRGV to pursue a pharmaceutical degree.
Good for you. Jacob?
I'm Jacob Rodriguez, and I've been to Coakley Middle School, Early College Middle School, and I plan on going to Texas A&M College Station in a degree for business.
Congratulations to you. So.
My name is Sarah Sanchez. Early College is the first Harlingen school I've attended, and I plan on getting an architectural degree at TSCC and then hopefully getting a bachelor's online to teach abroad.
Congratulations.
I'm Donna Gallardo, and well, I've spent most of my life in Brownsville, but I moved to Harlingen in 5th grade. I attended Savall Elementary and then went to Memorial Middle School and finally Early College High School. I'm going to go to Texas A&M to pursue a degree in economics. Yeah.
Congratulations to you.
Hi, I'm Holly Hernandez. I went to St. Anthony's Catholic School and then Lamar Elementary, Vela Middle School, and Early College High School. And I plan to attend Texas State University and major in graphic design.
Valerie?
My name is Valerie Martinez. I went to Means Elementary, Long Elementary, Memorial Middle School, and Early College High School. My plans after college are to attend Texas A&M Kingsville and double major in biology and exercise science.
Congratulations to you.
Hector Maximus Garcia. I attended Austin Elementary, Long Elementary, Memorial Middle School, and Gano Freshman Academy, and Early College High School. I plan on going to the University of Texas at San Antonio, where I plan on pursuing a business degree or a finance degree and minoring in mechanical engineering.
Congratulations. Eddie?
I'm Eddie Riley Rodriguez. I entered the HCISD school system in middle school during the last quarter of my 6th grade year. I first entered in Memorial Middle School, and then I moved to Early College High School, and I intend to go to Huntsville to get classes in Sam Houston State University to pursue an animation degree.
Congratulations to all of y'all. So a lot of amazing work that you all have done paying off. And so we're going to have a little bit of a conversation. It's an opportunity for me to get to know you all a little bit, and as well as our audience to get to know our top 10 students, and an opportunity for you to share what your journey has been like, and sometimes those journeys inspire others. And so we have a lot of students that are going to come after you, and so hopefully as they hear your stories, they too may find themselves in the positions that you all are at. So I have a few questions for you, and so these questions are designed to be interactive, and so you all feel free to jump in on any of the responses. We won't necessarily go in order as we go forward. So obviously, based on what you all said, we realize that being on the top 10, you all are very accomplished in academics, and that takes a lot of work to get you where you're at. But can you share with us what other activities you have been involved in throughout your high school years? Eddie?
For high school, I wasn't very much involved in middle school, but in high school, I participated in student council the National Honor Society, drama club, and a Dungeons and Dragons club for a couple years.
Neat. Anyone else? Valerie.
I was in Girl Scouts, PTSA, robotics, NHS, Student Council, NHS. I'm not sure if I said that already, but yes, those are all the clubs I was in.
Good. Anyone else? Hector.
I was involved in NHS, Student Council, where I was a treasurer, PTSA, and I was also an assistant basketball coach at Memorial Middle School.
Good for you. Come on this side, Donna.
Well, I wasn't involved in like traditional high school extracurriculars, but I was involved in more in like in the internet online. I draw a lot, and I recently, like this year, I actually won something for drawing, the Scholastic National Arts for Silver Key Award for region. And well, online, I joined this community where we could learn foreign language, and I interact with people there. So yeah.
Good for you. Anyone else? Alyssa?
I'm a member of National Honor Society and Student Council, and in my sophomore year, I placed first in the Harlingen Spelling Bee competition. And for the past 4 years, I've served as class cabinet secretary, and I helped lead lessons in Else for Christ.
Congratulations, Nathaniel. You had
Been a part of student council, jazz band, regular band, also choir in elementary. I've been part of NHS as well.
So I have a question for you, because several of you were naming one thing after another, so you're obviously very busy, right? Between your academics and your extracurricular. How do you balance those? How do you get all of it accomplished? Obviously, there was a lot of work on the academic side, but you had a lot of extracurriculars. How did you balance that time? Hector?
I think our teachers helped us a lot.
Okay.
They gave us a lot of, I guess, I don't know how to say it, but it's like they give us not free time, but a lot of time to work on our assignments during classes, and
They were very flexible.
yeah, very flexible. And they, even though they knew we had other things to do, like with their classwork, they put our priorities in front of theirs.
It's very nice. On this side. Alyssa?
For one of my classes, I had Miss Poppy, and she would always tell us to get out our planner, and we had a dedicated time to writing down and planning things. So I think that was one thing that really helped.
The planners.
Yes.
Anybody else use something different? Eddie?
Again, with Miss Poppy, she was actually like very helpful to someone like me, who's more of a go with the flow kind of person, who kind of has trouble keeping dates in line. So she kind of like helped us in that way by basically the front board in her class was just like a schedule for everyone. Basically, if you had something, it was likely someone else would have something similar. And so if everyone who could keep those dates in line could put it up on the board for everyone else to see, generally that meant that everyone could keep their schedule intact.
Valerie, how'd you do it?
Well, for me, I'm more of a visual person, so I actually have my own little dry erase board, and I have it like color coded so I know what for what club, and it's crazy.
So you think those are part of what you'll take with you as you go into college, using some of those same strategies?
Yeah, our teachers definitely provided a structure so we can do our things orderly in time. And well, that was in our freshman and sophomore year. Obviously COVID, that really threw things off, but they still tried to keep us in touch during online classes, during Zoom classes especially. Like one of our teacher, Mr. Ibarra, he kept on like reminding us, giving us time to do our work. And that kind of kept it up for our senior year.
Hector?
I feel like classmates helped us a lot too. We're kind of since it's a small school, we're kind of a family there. So we all help each other out whenever we need it.
That always helps when you have somebody reminding you, right? Eddie?
Yeah, like I've kind of learned going to ECHS that you kind of need to surround yourself with a community and people who can catch you on your faults. You need that kind of thing because eventually something's going to slip through your fingers no matter how tightly you grab it. So you need someone to catch what you drop.
Well, it's always a great piece, right? Just having that community around you to support you. And so as you think about college, right? That's going to be a different setting. And so, so some of the reminders that you all talked about are going to be a critical piece to help guide you forward, right? So I'm glad to hear that you all have that. So I have this picture, right? So this month, the top 10 Billboard went up. How many of you have gone to see the Billboard already? All of you did. Okay, so I have a question for you. So what did you feel when you saw yourselves up there? What was your first thought?
I was embarrassed because I woke up 10 minutes before, and I was like, oh my God, everyone sees me there, oh my God.
So what did you think of the picture?
But I really liked it. Like, I was surprised they photoshopped all of us in there. I was like, how did they do that?
Hey,
like,
we have experts in the district. They make all of us look good no matter what. Eddie?
It felt really surreal. I remember my mom, like after work, she was like, okay, get in the car. We're going to go somewhere. And at first, like, I thought, did I forget something? And then she took me to the Billboard and she's like, look, they're celebrating you. And I'm just like, I'm not used to honorifics. And so it felt nice, like, seeing something, like acknowledging what I did and what all of us did. And I felt embarrassed, like, it wasn't even a day after my sister graduated from her college that my mom, like, drove her to the Billboard and it's like, hey, look, your brother's up there. And just like, you could have waited like maybe a night for this.
Well, and it's an honor not just for you, but your families, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure every family was excited. Anyone else thoughts on seeing yourself, Holly?
I thought it was really cool to see me and my friends up there. I also felt really proud to be recognized. So.
It's always neat. Sarah?
I think I have to agree with Eddie. It kind of felt surreal just to see our faces big there and flashy when you drive by. And I kept getting like texts like, oh, I saw you on the Billboard and stuff. It felt nice to be recognized.
Nathaniel, what were your thoughts?
The same thing as everybody else. Felt honored to be up there, proud as well.
Jacob?
When I saw it, I thought, hey, what's up, good looking? And after I was done looking at Nathaniel, I noticed I was in it too.
Well, and how many of you took pictures with it?
Take a picture
Eddie.
of it, but I took a picture with it.
I saw a lot of pictures of people underneath with their finger, and they did it just right so that they were pointing at themselves on those. Anybody else have thought?
I felt kind of like a sense of relief because ever since freshman year, I had teachers and parents like, oh, you're going to be up there one day. And I never really believed in myself, but they pushed me. And then once I finally saw myself, I was like, oh, wow, I made it. Like, it was a sense of relief and feeling proud, like they said.
Eddie?
Yeah, it was really like the physical manifestation of like all of our years of work. And it's just nice to see that like there's something evident about it, right? Like it's not just something that like flew on by.
Well, how many of you set a goal for yourself early about the Billboard? Did any of you? Alyssa, anybody else? That maybe in your,
Yeah.
that early on you said, you know what, I want to be on that Billboard, and that became one of your goals.
Yes, in
Hector?
freshman year.
I really said it because I didn't know where I was going to go after Kano. And my dad always had told me, work hard now to benefit later. So that's what was like, because I wasn't sure if I was going to go to the high school or I was going to go to the early college. So that's that had always stuck in the back of my mind. And now we know it happened.
Well, and good advice, right? Work hard and the payoff will come on its own. Anybody else? Sarah?
I don't think I necessarily set it as a goal, but just told myself like if I work hard enough and like see where I end up, I'll be satisfied. So seeing that I was able to be up there I was grateful for that.
It's the whole concept of hard work pays off, right? And even sometimes on its own without even thinking about it. So that's a great piece. So I have a question for y'all. Obviously, COVID was a challenge for a lot of people. Everybody. There was a degree of challenge to that came, whether it was just getting used to the whole situation, whatever that may be. But there was a challenge. But that's one challenge. I think everybody, as you're going through your life, and especially as you're going through school, you're going to encounter a number of challenges along the way. And meeting those challenges and succeeding at them is a moment of pride for yourself. So here's my question for you. Describe a moment or a time where you were most proud of yourself for overcoming a challenge in your life. Eddie.
It was actually my first 9 weeks within HCISD, because I had gone from a private school into Memorial at the very end of the quarter, and the STAR tests were coming up, and I was very scared. I had no idea whether I was going to do well or not, and thanks to the teachers that I had there, I actually aced my STAR, and it was that experience that kind of got me oh, okay, I can actually manage this. I can actually do well.
Good deal. Anybody else? Sarah.
I actually had something similar to Eddie. When I came to early college, I didn't know anybody. And all my friends from the previous school in La Feria, they're all I guess you could nerds, we're all nerds. And they're all in the top 10 as well. So I always had someone supporting me at all times on top of homework and everything. So coming to early college, I didn't have them anymore, and I didn't really know anybody to support me at that moment. But then once I started getting more organized, I started to get on track.
And so that was a moment of pride for you. Yeah. When did it hit you that, okay, I can do this?
I think it was when we started getting the first rankings, and I saw because in La Feria I was also in the top 10. But when I came here, I wasn't as high, but I told myself well, I know I can make it in top 10. So then I just started working up from there, and I actually started going up ranks, and I was really proud of that.
Good for you. Anybody else? Holly, do you have a moment?
I mean, being at early college high school when we were taking college classes, I'm just really proud of myself for keeping myself on track, especially when it's online. I feel like I did a good job with that, and I'm proud that I made top 10 even with these circumstances.
Well, and you all went through the transition moving to UTRGV, and so that was a difference for a lot of y'all. A very different, now you were focusing on a university and not necessarily just a traditional college, and so I'm sure that was a big transition for you all. Valerie, what were your thoughts?
I'd say a challenge I faced was my junior year. I was so scared to take UTRGV. I was like, oh no, I'm not going to be doing good. But then once the first semester passed and I saw that I got A's, it boosted my confidence for the next semester, and now my future, it kind of helped me decide what I wanted to study, that I knew I could do it.
Wonderful. Alyssa, how about you?
One of my challenges and my most proud moments are together. So I think this year one of the hardest classes for mostly everyone is probably econ, but that class was a little bit harder because right, I think at the finals my grandpa passed away, so it was kind of hard to keep on track with everything. But I was really proud because I overcame that and I got an A in the class. So
congratulations.
It's a challenge, and that's also one of my most proudest moments.
Jacob, how about you?
We've had several challenges with professors, just some like it this way, some like it that way, some don't like it at all.
Sure.
And we work together to figure out what to do for each class. Sometimes if we're having trouble with the professor, we'll send emails and discuss with each other what we can do to help each other. And just dealing with any trouble that we have together. That's nice.
One of the things when you deal with a challenge and you're able to overcome it, winds up giving you confidence for the next challenge that you have ahead of you, right? And so one of the reasons why I asked that question of you is because there are students, future graduates, whether that's the freshmen at early college, high school, that are thinking like Valerie, oh my gosh, junior year is coming and I'm gonna wind up taking these UTRGV courses. And so for them to be able to hear you say, I too was worried, and yet I was able to accomplish what I accomplished, that's a great thing. And it gives other people, and it inspires other people to say, okay, well, if she's in the top 10 and she's saying she had a concern, then maybe I can do it too. So thank you for sharing that. Eddie.
To add to that point, like I've met a lot of people who have difficulty with like mental health and keeping like on track with a lot of stuff. I have anxiety and clinical depression, and that stuff can be very difficult when it comes to a heavy course load and getting things on track. There are like bad times and there are good times, but it's very important to like have people who will understand that problem, will allow you to articulate it clearly, and will give you what you need to be able to meet that challenge. I think a lot of the teachers at ECHS excel in that. Many of the professors that we've had at UTRGV have also, particularly Dr. Frost, if anyone remembers him. Yeah, Miss Poppy was great. And so like, just that empathy coming from both like student and teacher is very important.
And so Eddie, you just kind of paved the way for this next question that I have. And so along the lines of what you spoke to, about highlighting teachers who truly impacted your lives, right? And so that was a question that I was going to ask. Which teachers here in the district, whether it's pre-K to 12, I know all of you are sitting at Early College High School right now, but you've had a lot of teachers throughout your school career. And for those of you that have been in HCISD for a significant length of time, what teacher here in HCISD, pre-K to 12, that made you feel that they cared about you and who you are as a person? And then beyond that, what did they do specifically that made you feel that way? So I'll open it up. I know you've mentioned Miss Poppy a little bit.
Yeah, Miss Poppy, how can you really like get a teacher who's more empathetic and understanding? She listened to what we had to say, the issues that we had, and she always made adjustments to that. If we had trouble with the college course, she was the first to give us the opportunity to study in her class, to get one-on-one time to schedule with us. Whenever we had ideas about different topics, she allowed us to openly discuss it and kept things pretty civil. And then for UTRGV, Dr. Frost was a very good teacher, since he basically was teaching us how to write academic papers, and the topic didn't matter as long as we were intellectually honest and we were able to articulate our points clearly. And having that kind of support in that outlet for our writing was really good.
Wonderful. Hector.
Mr. Frost. For our final essay, it was we could write about anything we wanted as long as it was in the field that we wanted to go into. And at the time, I would really like to, well, I still love films and directing and stuff like that. It's still one of my passions, but it's not as much as it was. And my final paper for that class was a 10-page paper on how one of my favorite directors, Christopher Nolan, manipulates time in his movies. And he broke that into like little bits to help me write it, even though it was like it was a tasking. I didn't think it'd be that tasking since I'd have to watch movies, but I wrote 6 pages on one movie that I couldn't wrap my head around, and then again, Mr. Ibarra was really helpful. I feel like he just made learning fun. He'd like the way he'd lecture and. He'd stand on top of a desk and like make his point, get his point across really well. And Miss Poppy as well. They're some of my favorite teachers.
So what did Mr. Ibarra do that made you feel cared for? Like he was thinking about you specifically?
Well, from like the first day of class, he'd always interact with us really well. And we had to write a book report. And one of my favorite books is The Operator. It's a military book based off a true story. And that book, it goes along the Navy. It's about the Navy SEAL Robert O'Neill, and he was on the Osama bin Laden raid. And he allowed me to write about that since it was a history class, and it was my favorite book, so it was really easy to write. And that book is amazing. It's my favorite book ever.
So it was the opportunity it gave you to,
Yeah.
to pursue your interests.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Jacob?
There are 3 teachers that come to mind, and they're Miss Vidari, Mr. Ibarra, and Mr. Rosales. And they let us all express ourselves creatively and gave us like a lot of free time to blow off steam. And that was really helpful. I was always looking forward to their classes.
That's good. Sarah?
I think one right now is Mrs. Garza. I've never met her in real life because of COVID and everything, but I really appreciate that every time we log on to Zoom, she says good morning or good afternoon to everybody. And like, I feel like sometimes that's the only time I get to interact with teachers. So I always unmute back to her and say like good afternoon when she will say by name, like good afternoon, Sarah, good afternoon, Holly. And I just really appreciate that. And I feel like if I met her in real life, she'd be exactly the same, super nice and caring. And Miss Poppy as well, she just helped me a lot with the planners and everything. Mr. Ibarra really treats you like you're one of his kids. And like Miss Marquez, I had her too. She still asks about me. My sister saw her the other day, and I didn't even have her the full year, and she was just really nice and caring and talked about your life and stuff. She was really nice. All the teachers at ECHS are really kind and sympathetic.
Good. Anybody else? Nathaniel?
One teacher that just comes to mind was my GT teacher at Lamar Elementary. Every single time we would go into her classroom, she would always wake us up, get us off on the right foot. She would also give us work that was challenging to us and teach us life skills, but then she also balanced it with fun and playful types of lessons.
And who was the teacher, Nathaniel?
Her name is Miss Piercy.
Miss Piercy?
Yes.
Great lady.
My 7th and 8th grade basketball coach, Mr. Aligood.
Mr. who?
Aligood.
Aligood.
He just, although he was tough on us, he tried to implement like life skills inside basketball so we could bring it on throughout our life.
Terrific. Anybody else? Alyssa?
I had many great teachers, but 2 of them that really inspired me were from Vela, and it was Mrs. Waters and Mr. Palermo. Mr. Palermo was my 6th grade math teacher, and he was actually the one who told me about ECHS. And one thing that I think inspired my love for learning, like he always challenged me, and we always, I mean, some kids didn't like it, but we had a lot of homework assignments, and that really motivated me. And then for Mrs. Waters, one thing that she did was she had AP vocabulary tests. So every single week we would have like about 15 words, and we'd take tests on them. And I remember when I went to, ECHS, what made it easier writing a lot of papers was that I already knew a lot of the vocabulary, or for sometimes Mrs. Poppy's class, I already knew most of the vocabulary already because she taught me them. So they really inspired me.
It's terrific. Yeah, Donna?
Well, there's a lot of great teachers, and it'll take like an hour to like name every single one, right? So I guess the ones that stand out are like a certain type of teacher who connects with the student,
Right.
and who doesn't treat them like a nuisance, right? Gotta clock in, gotta clock out, like work, but like actually cares about them. So for me, it was in Memorial Middle School. I had Miss Limon and Miss Hackbarth. They were really cool. They were really chill, and this really motivated me later in life. Like my senior year, I had to take. Well, I didn't have to take, but I took the SAT because I wanted to see how would I place, correct? And well, I didn't place that good in my opinion when I took it. I got a, what was it, 1200. So, and Miss Hackbar and Miss Limon were my math teachers, and I wanted to, not only for myself, to prove to myself that I could do this,
Right.
but I wanted to, as a way, pay like homage to them. Like they taught me these skills, and I need to work on them for this test. And well, I improved my grade, but you know, it's pretty good. Obviously, Miss Poppy.
1200 is not bad.
It's not bad. I got 13 something in my last try, but like, it's pretty good.
Absolutely. Congratulations to you for that.
Miss Poppy, like everyone was saying, Miss Poppy, she really was empathetic, and Mr. Ibarra. All these type of teachers, they connect with the students, and they're empathetic, and they actually treat them like what Sarah said, like their own kids, right? I remember Miss Poppy, she would like give us tests to help us with the SAT, and that really helped me because I got like a 710 on my reading and writing. I was like, wow, it's really helped us.
Well, and so great teacher when the academic is in place, and then you're also feeling like they're connected to you, and they make you feel like they are a parent, like they're looking out for you in everything that you do. And so those are the type of teachers that we always strive to have in our district for all y'all.
Just one other person was our physics professor from UTRGV. Physics in general, it's a very daunting subject, but he broke it down in simpler and easier to like bite-sized pieces, digest. And I don't know, he made it fun, and to me at least. A lot of people struggled, but to me, I caught on right away.
And Hector, who's that professor?
I can't remember his last name. It was
Mr. Enriquez?
Yeah, Professor Enriquez.
And so what a great thing that you all have been able to discover great teachers at Early College High School and even at UTRGV. And so I'm glad that y'all are giving them shout outs, because there are students following behind you. And so they too need to know that there's some great staff at UTRGV that they'll be working with as well. So thank you for highlighting some of those folks. So another area that I need some feedback from you all, having experienced and seen what our district has gone through. So over the last few years, we've made a lot of transformative types of work in the district, a lot of new opportunities for students, opportunities for children to have choice, no different than you all had, right? Early College High School was a choice and an opportunity that you had, separate from the traditional high school that you otherwise would have gone to. So out of all the things we have transformed in our district, whether it's academies like Lee Means Fine Arts Academy or the Gutierrez Middle School of Arts and Sciences or IB campuses, there's a lot of changes that we have brought forward. What's one change that we have done that you think really benefits our HCISD students? Eddie?
Investing in more niche and specialized skill sets is a huge thing. Like, I'm personally jealous of some of the programs and facilities that like the next year's kids will have. Like, I've always liked animation, art, and design, and I just learned like a couple weeks ago that like some of the schools in the district are now going to have animation and graphic design courses as electives. I took a tour at one of the schools one time, I forget which one, but they had like a welding shop, and I experiment with like blacksmithing and welding, and having those options, I'm very jealous of what these kids are going to get.
Okay. Anybody else? Valerie?
I think one of the neat things y'all added were those academies in the elementaries, because I think it's really important to start them young. That's when they're most creative, and that's when they just want to, they're actually really grasping the information right away, and I think that's so cool. If you just provide them the right materials, I know they'll go really far, and I'm like excited to see what they're going to do with those new academies.
Wonderful. Anybody else? Sarah?
I think the new, well, it's not going to be early college anymore, Harlingen Collegiate High School is going to be really neat. It already, even though it's not finished yet, it looks really nice, and yeah, I just feel really happy for the new, well, my sister's a junior, and she's really excited already. I'm like, man, like, we never got to go there, but I mean, we'll still be the last graduating early college high school class in our cozy little early college high school, but that's nice. And also the programs and the academies, like, little kids are like sponges, and if they start absorbing that information young, they're going to be so talented by the time they're older.
Wonderful. Alyssa, you had a comment?
I was actually going to say the same thing about the new, well, collegiate, I don't remember.
Harlingen Collegiate High.
Yeah. I think that's very exciting. And then the other thing is a lot of the programs that they're having. I was seeing some of the videos that HISD has, and it's pretty amazing to see what they're doing. A lot of like their performances and hearing them sing. I think it's really pretty and nice that they're doing that.
Hector?
One of our family friends, their daughter goes to the Lee Means
Fine Arts Academy.
And that little girl has so much energy that she could put it towards something that she could use in the future, which is very amazing that we have that now.
Yeah. Last thought on that question?
I just really want to say really quick, I think in one of my classes they showed a video about the kids from HISD performing and stuff, and it's so incredible. I'm like, wow, these kids are younger than me, and they're like doing stuff you would see like on big stages, right? And it's just crazy how those programs are teaching them really young, and they're really talented already.
Well, you know, one of the things that I love about those kinds of programs is that it gives kids confidence in public speaking. Right? When you perform and so forth, there's just such a confidence that comes in that, and you know, that's a skill in itself, right? To get up in front of a crowd and speak and perform, and so having those kinds of opportunities for kids, I think, helps them beyond just in the performance, but even in just being able to advocate for themselves and speak up and do those kinds of things. So I'm really excited at where our district is going, and you all really set the stage, because you all were the first specialty school of any kind here in Harlingen. Prior to early college high school, you know, we had traditional programs, but early college high school became the first specialty school in our district, and it really set the trend for where we wanted to go in providing students choice. And so you all are benefiting from that, and so other students will benefit from some of what early college high school started. So that work will continue in our district, and so I'm really excited about that. So, you know, some of you were talking about middle school, and so 4 years goes by really fast. Would y'all agree?
Yep.
So these 4 years for you, if you think back to your freshman year and where you are now, 4 years flew by really quickly. And so I'm going to ask you to let some time fly by, and I want you to think about this next question. So the question is, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Thoughts? Hector?
For me, like, so I'm gonna go into business or finance. I'm gonna invest in the crypto by the time I graduate from college. I'm gonna invest in the crypto and real estate. So I want to retire at a very young age and just travel the world.
Good for you. I think I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna keep an eye on you. Anybody else?
I don't really have the greatest sense of long-term time. Basically, I get very anxious about things, about like just the chaotic elements of life.
Sure.
And so it takes a lot for me to think about far in the future, but I've always wanted to like put my art and my writing into something. I want to be a storyboard artist or a writer or a screenplay writer or director or a showrunner. I don't know which of those things I'll be. Honestly, I'm wanting to take life one step at a time before I can figure out my full life plan. But yeah, I want to be using my creative skills and apply them into something.
Well, you know what the great piece is, Eddie, that even though you may not have decided, you have put yourself in a position where you have the choice to be able to do so. And so you'll figure it out. But the great piece is that you've put yourself in a situation where you will be able to decide that when the time comes. So I'm proud of you for that. Anybody else? 10 years. 27, 28 years old, so.
Well, when I started my freshman year in early college, I always thought I was gonna graduate. Senior year, we would prom, we did all these activities, and then, you know, coronavirus came. So it's very hard to think ahead a decade. But I do know that in a decade from now, I want to make an impact, a long-lasting impact on people around me. That we leave a mark in history. And I don't know what I would do, but it will be something.
I love that. Love that.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that for me personally, I've never really been someone whose goal is to be, I guess, rich. I'd look at more like what I would prioritize in life, like maybe seeing the world, and like I also like hold spiritual things high. So I really would like to maybe teach abroad or be in some kind of program that would allow me to travel a lot, or be involved in all, those other things. So maybe teaching English in like Spain or Korea, I think would be really nice.
Great. Love that. Alyssa?
So I'm 17 right now, so in 10 years I'd be 27. So by that point I would want to be working as a medical laboratory scientist, and I'd probably want to have my master's degree in business and be running my own lab. And outside of that, like out of career goals, I think in 10 years, or I'd want to be in 10 years just very content and probably traveling and just spending time with family.
Wonderful. But you, Nathaniel?
In 10 years, just like how Eddie said, I really don't know what is planned for me in life, because everything now that we've just seen with the virus is coming out of the shadows and taking us off guard. But in 10 years, I'd like to see myself working as a pharmacist in a local pharmacy, just helping out the community around me.
Wonderful. Jacob?
In 10 years, I hope to have a job relating to my degree.
Good for you. Anybody else? Holly?
In 10 years, I'd like to, be living in a bigger city, and me and my sister are both going to be going into like art fields. I'm going to be doing graphic design, and I hope to be, working at a bigger company like Google or Disney with her, or doing something with her together.
So you're very close to your sister?
Yeah.
Valerie?
In 10 years, hopefully I already have my doctoral degree and I'll be a certified physical therapist, and I hope to come back to the Valley and open up my own rehabilitation center.
And I encourage all of y'all to really consider, if the opportunity is there for you, to always consider coming back to the Valley at some point. There's the way that things are evolving. Certainly, you all know with SpaceX, but the way things are evolving, I can see a time where the Valley will have increased opportunities in so many areas. And so, 10 years can fly by quickly, and a lot of change can happen in 10 years. And so, it'll be exciting to see where we're all at that point in time. So I have just one more. Well, it's not a question. I'm going to give you the floor and give you an opportunity to send a shout out to somebody who has been instrumental in your success, whoever he or she may be, or multiple people. But this will be your opportunity to give a shout out to somebody that has been important in your life and getting you to where you are today. And so, Eddie, I'm going to start with you.
For me, it's 3 people. My sister has always been a constant figure of creative support for me throughout my life. Whatever ideas that I've had, whatever thoughts we've shared, she has pushed me into pursuing that, into building onto what I want to do. The other 2 are my parents. Like I said earlier, no matter what you do, how hard you grasp something, something's going to slip through your fingers, and they've been the most constant set of hands supporting mine since the beginning of my life. So I just have to thank them.
Wonderful. Hector, how about you?
For me, it's my entire immediate family and some of our close friends. First off, it has to be my mom and dad, Hector and Norma Garcia. They're the most fun and loving people that you could ever meet. Then it's going to be my grandma, our neighbors, Ashley, AJ, and Fred Flores. They're practically family, and they're also some of the most fun and loving people you could ever meet. And AJ, he's a teacher at Med High, and whenever I need help, he comes over and he tutors me and helps me understand subjects. And lastly, it's our family friends, Tim and Jessica Gonzalez. They're just always a shoulder to lean on whenever we need to.
Wonderful. So you have a huge support system. Valerie?
For me, it's my mom, my dad, and my brothers, the immediate family. They've all just been my biggest critiques, but also my biggest motivators. I love them more than I tell them, or I should tell them. And yeah, they just provide all the materials I need, and just the biggest support.
Wonderful. Holly?
My family, my mom, my sister, my grandparents, they've just always been there to support me, and they've always motivated me even when I didn't think I could do it. I'm really grateful for all of them.
What on this side, Donna?
Definitely my parents. They've built a foundation that always motivates, especially when I was younger. They always advocated for me, for my education, for opportunities for me, and they helped build up my own intrinsic motivation. So instead of someone pushing me, I started to push myself forward to do these things for myself.
I think the same for me, like Donna. My parents never really pushed me, and that kind of caused me to want to push myself to make them proud. And they're always there supporting me through everything, and my sister. And also my friends from school. Once I started making those friends, they were so supportive. I could text them like literally any time of the night. They're there with any questions I had. And yeah, just my friends and family in general were really supportive of me.
Congratulations for having that kind of support system. Jacob?
My friends, Nathaniel Melgoza, Adriel Torres, Alexis Martinez, Josue Martinez, and David De Leon. We were always pushing each other. We made each other go through each day together. Made school a lot more tolerable.
Well, and so family doesn't always have to be blood related, right? Nathaniel?
Well, there's a lot of people that I'd like to say thanks, mainly friends, family, the community around me, but one person that I believe that deserves to be thanked is God. I strongly believe that I'm also blessed to have the life that He gave me, the brain that He gave me, just the community around me. I strongly believe that if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't be where I am right now. He's always been my lifeline. He's always been the person that I could always go to in the darkest of times, and He will continue to be my lifeline.
Good. Alyssa?
So there are many people I'd like to thank too. My friends, my teachers, and my family. My brothers, Sammy and Michael, for knowing when, they're always around there for me, and, they tell me when to relax whenever I'm studying, or they're always there and encouraging me. And my parents, because they're always there and they're constant love and support. And I have to agree with what Nathaniel said. Most importantly for me was God and Him being in my life, and that really helped me.
So, Hector.
I forgot one person, or a few people. It's my best friends, Luis Fuentes, Ruben Garcia, Peter Villaron, Nathan Gutierrez. And they're always there whenever I need someone to talk to, whether it's playing Xbox with them, going to the movies, just hanging out in general. They're always there whenever I'm feeling down. They'll talk me up, they'll make me laugh. They're just the best people you could surround yourself with.
Well, and so like Jacob, right?
Yeah.
Friends can be family as well. And I think that's one of the things at Early College High School in particular, because of its size, I think it did create that family environment for you amongst each other.
Yeah, they're pretty much my brothers now.
Yeah. And so hopefully those are the friends that you'll carry for life, right?
Yes.
So that was my last, if not question, the last part of our conversation, but I want to share a couple of thoughts with y'all. So one, I want to thank y'all for giving up some of your time just to kind of give me an opportunity to get to know you a little bit better, but also for our audience that's listening, just to kind of get your thoughts and really understand how did you all get here so that others can follow in your footsteps. So I want to thank you all for that time. I was listening to y'all talk about your goals, your dreams, where you want to be in 10 years. And, I have no doubt that you can get there because you've already proven yourself. And so I just ask you to keep chasing those dreams. Don't ever give up on a dream. You've shown that you can overcome all sorts of obstacles to get to where you want to be. And so I have every faith that each of you will accomplish those goals that you set for yourself. And I found it very interesting as y'all were talking, and everybody thanked family in one way or another, whether it was your immediate family or the people around you that you see as family. And so the only thing that I want you to walk away from is that no different. Our district also, you had a number of people that were there for you. And so I just want to reassure you on one thing, that once you come into our district, this district is family for you in any way that you need. And so that doesn't matter if you're a junior in college and you're needing to reach out to somebody in the district. We're here to support you. Never doubt that. HCISD is a family to you in whatever way you may need. And so do not ever hesitate, just like your friends and your immediate family is there for you. So I wish you the very best of luck. I know that you're going to accomplish great things. We have graduation coming up pretty soon here. How far away are we? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And so 2 weeks is going to fly really quickly. But I'm excited to see you at graduation, and I'm excited at what the future holds for y'all. So thank y'all again for being with me.